Ryanair could make flying comfortable overnight. Their €2 billion profit in 2024 proves it. But misery is not a bug, it is the business plan. Every cramped seat, every chirping bag sizer, every fluorescent cabin exists to shape not just your journey, but your behavior, and to guarantee you keep paying for mistakes. If discomfort is so profitable, why has the entire airline industry started copying it? The answer hides in the economics of intentional pain. We will expose how low fares became a high-stakes experiment in making you hate flying by design. Airport fees shape the economics of every Ryanair flight before a single passenger steps on board. At London Stansted, Ryanair pays roughly €9.50 per traveler in airport and handling charges. That is less than half the fee at Heathrow or Paris Charles de Gaulle, where major carriers face costs of €20 or more per passenger. The same pattern holds at Beauvais, Ryanair's Paris outpost, and at Hahn outside Frankfurt, airports chosen for their low charges, fast turnarounds, and willingness to trade amenities for volume. This relentless focus on cost extends to the tarmac. Ryanair operates the largest Boeing 737 fleet in Europe, with 583 aircraft as of 2024. Standardizing on a single plane type means every mechanic, pilot, and spare part serves the whole operation. Maintenance costs drop by up to 20% compared to airlines juggling multiple models. Staff training is simpler. Ground crews can turn planes around faster, squeezing more flights from each jet every day. But these savings alone do not explain the full margin. Ryanair's ancillary revenue, fees from bags, seats, and a la carte options, makes up 32% of total income, more than double the industry average. The company's operations team does not just chase low costs, they build an environment where every euro saved and every euro earned from discomfort pushes profit margins higher. The groundwork is set. Ryanair can afford to make flying pleasant. Instead, it chooses efficiency and revenue over comfort, with every operational detail engineered to reinforce that choice. Inside every Ryanair cabin, the message is clear, before a word is spoken. Rows of hard slimline seats are packed at a 30-inch pitch, tighter than the 31 to 32 inches found on most legacy carriers. There is no seatback screen, no complimentary snacks, and no hint of premium comfort. The cabin's signature yellow and blue palette is not just branding, it is a deliberate signal that this is not a place for luxury. Every design choice, from the absence of seat recline to the echo of plastic armrests, serves a purpose beyond cost-cutting. It is a filter. Travelers who crave legroom, quiet, or attentive service are pushed to look elsewhere. The result is that Ryanair attracts price-driven passengers who are less likely to grumble over missing amenities and more likely to accept the trade-off for a lower fare. This approach does not just save money on materials. It slashes the airline's need for service recovery and complaint handling, a cost that legacy carriers still absorb. From 2016 to 2018, even giants like United, Delta, and American introduced their own basic economy, copying the formula: tight seats, no extras, and a clear message: comfort costs extra. Ryanair's cabin is not an oversight. It is a sorting mechanism designed to keep the most profitable, least demanding customers coming back. At every Ryanair gate, the real contest begins before boarding even starts. Passengers line up, clutching bags that have already been measured at home, eyes darting to the metal sizer by the gate. The 10-kilogram cabin bag limit and strict size rules are not just policy, they are a test. The sizer is not there primarily for staff. It is there for everyone else in line, turning the crowd into a panel of enforcers. Anyone who tries to squeeze in an oversized bag faces not just a €50 penalty, but the visible judgment of fellow travelers, all hoping to avoid the same fate. Reports from The Guardian and The Market Watch have surfaced over the years, alleging that Ryanair staff receive bonuses for each bag they catch over the limit. While the airline denies official commissions, leaked payrolls and former staff accounts point to performance incentives tied to fee revenue. The result is a system where passengers are conditioned to police each other, reducing the need for extra staff and keeping labor costs low. Every argument at the sizer, every public repacking of a suitcase serves as a warning to the next person in line. A priority boarding fee ranging from $6 to $24 becomes less of an upsell and more of an insurance policy. Pay it, and you skip the anxiety of the sizer and the scramble for overhead space. Decline, and you join the ranks of those who weigh and reweigh their bags at home, triple-checking dimensions, hoping to avoid a costly mistake at the gate. In this environment, compliance is not just expected. It is trained, enforced, and monetized by the very people who are supposed to be customers. A Ryanair jet touches down at Stansted. 25 minutes later, it is airborne again. That is not a marketing slogan. It is an operational doctrine. Every second counts, and the choreography is relentless. Ground crews track incoming flights on apps, not radios. As soon as the wheels hit the tarmac, teams are already in position. Baggage handlers at the hold, cleaners at the stairs, a fuel truck rolling up. Dual air stairs, front and rear, mean passengers pour out in two streams, halving deplaning time compared to airlines that use a single door. There is no catering trolley to restock, no seat back pockets to empty, no galley to clean. The cabin's stripped-down design is not just about cost, it is about speed. Unassigned seating turns boarding into a controlled scramble. Passengers rush for their preferred spots, filling the plane from the back and middle simultaneously. Strict baggage rules, enforced at the gate, keep the aisles clear and overhead bins shut as fast as possible. Priority boarders, those who paid extra, move first, but the real goal is density, not comfort. Every process overlaps: cleaning, fueling, boarding, and baggage all run in parallel. The result is a turnaround time that averages 25 minutes, confirmed by Cirium data for 2024. Most European carriers need 45 minutes or more for the same task. The payoff is measurable. Ryanair's per passenger costs are about €9.50 for airport fees, €11 for staff, and €3.50 for maintenance, all among the lowest in the industry. Each minute saved means more daily flights per aircraft, more revenue squeezed from every jet, and a cost base legacy carriers cannot match. Discomfort is not just tolerated. It is engineered to keep the machine moving. The real numbers behind a Ryanair ticket reveal why discomfort is more than a side effect. A base fare might start at $20 and sometimes climb to $50, but that is only the opening move. The fee menu stretches much further. A reserved seat can add $10. A name correction jumps to $115. Airport check-in costs $55. A checked bag can run up to $101. Even small purchases on board, water, snacks, scratch cards, push the theoretical maximum past $300. Most passengers do not pay every fee, but the average is precise: $25.45 in extras on top of a $54.11 ticket. Now the arithmetic gets blunt. Each passenger costs Ryanair $67.35 to carry. Subtract the base fare, and there is a $13.24 gap. Every flight, every seat, a loss without those add-ons. Ancillary revenue is not a bonus, it is the lifeline. Without fees, Ryanair's low fares would drag the airline into the red. The discomfort is priced in, and the math leaves no room for mercy. Southwest Airlines took a different path. For decades it offered 2 free checked bags, no change fees, and a reputation for friendly service, and yet still turned a profit. But that model came with trade-offs: heavier planes, longer ground times, and a customer base that expected flexibility. Southwest's early dominance in cities like Las Vegas and Baltimore gave it room to absorb these costs. Ryanair, facing stiffer competition and higher costs in Europe, leaned hard into fees and friction to stay ahead. The results reshaped the industry. Airlines around the world copied the playbook. Spirit, Frontier, Wizz Air, and Allegiant all built their businesses on ultra-low fares and aggressive add-ons. Global airline ancillary revenue soared from $110 billion in 2019 to $150 billion in 2024. Meanwhile, the average inflation-adjusted ticket price fell by more than a third, according to IATA, but the model has limits. In 2024, Spirit Airlines nearly collapsed despite extracting 40% of its revenue from fees. A failed merger, mounting debt, and grounded planes left it scrambling for survival. The logic that made Ryanair profitable proved brittle for others. Yet the dominoes kept falling as every major carrier adopted some version of the Ryanair approach. This is not just about cheap flights. It is a blueprint reshaping what we tolerate when we travel. As ancillary fees hit $150 billion worldwide, discomfort becomes the new normal by design. The real cost is not measured in euros, but in what we accept as passengers. What are you willing to endure